Hakone has always been one of my favorite places in Japan. I've visited several times over the last decade, but today is different. It's the New Year holiday, one of the busiest times of the year, and we only have one day to experience everything from sailing across Lake Ashi to reaching the volcanic valley of Owakudani. Can we complete our journey before time runs out? Let's find out together. Hello everyone, Ojisan here. Today is day 9 of our 15-day journey across Japan. I honestly can't believe we are already so close to New Year's. It feels like we just arrived, yet every day has been packed with new places and unforgettable memories. Today, we're leaving Kawaguchiko behind and heading to Hakone, one of Japan's most famous mountain resort towns. But there is one challenge. We're traveling during one of the busiest weeks of the entire year. Can we still enjoy Hakone with thousands of other visitors? Let's find out together. And if you haven't watched our Kawaguchiko adventure yet, be sure to check it out after this video. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the rest of this journey. Outside, the weather couldn't have been better. The sky was a brilliant blue without a single cloud in sight. The winter air was cold, but the sunshine made everything feel fresh. Today, we're continuing with a private car. During the New Year's holiday, popular tourist destinations become extremely crowded. Having a car gives us much more flexibility and saves us from worrying about packed trains and long transfers. As we drove toward Hakone, Mount Fuji stayed with us almost the entire journey. No matter how many times I see it, I still find myself looking out the window. It never really gets old. Today's plan is simple. First, we ride the famous pirate sightseeing ship across Lake Ashi. Then, we'll head up the mountains by Ropeway to Owakudani before ending the day at our hotel. When we arrived at the observation area, the first thing I saw was the lake. The sunlight reflected across the water, making it sparkle like tiny diamonds. In the distance, I could see the famous pirate ship. Hakone is located less than 100 kilometers west of Tokyo and is one of Japan's most famous gateway destinations. It's well known for its hot springs, beautiful mountain scenery, and on clear days, breathtaking views of Mount Fuji. While queuing to board, I noticed how many people were here. Well, I guess that's expected during the New Year's holidays. Seeing the pirate ship up close was still exciting. Its detailed design makes it feel less like transportation and more like stepping into an adventure. The cruise will take about 25 minutes, traveling from Togendai to Moto Hakone. Inside, there is also a shop selling local snacks, drinks if you want to grab something. As the ship slowly sailed across the lake, I couldn't help but smile. The first time I rode this ship was more than 10 years ago. Since then, I've come back a few more times. What's amazing is almost nothing has changed. The ship still looks the same, the surrounding mountains are still as peaceful, the lake still feels incredibly calm. Back then, there weren't nearly as many tourists. Today, it's much busier. But somehow, standing here again gave me a comforting feeling. It's like revisiting an old friend. Some places make you feel excited, others simply make you feel at home. Hakone has become one of those places for me. Soon enough, we reached Moto Hakone, and it was time to continue our journey. By now, it was already lunchtime. My friends decided to eat together with their family, but after 9 straight days of Japanese food, I suddenly found myself craving something Western. So, we go separate ways for lunch. Since restaurants around this tourist area are quite expensive, I decided to do what many travelers in Japan often do. I went to the nearest convenience store. A quick, affordable lunch sounded perfect. I picked up a spaghetti meal with pork sausage and heated it up inside the store. Everything smelled amazing. There was only one small problem. There was nowhere to eat. No tables, no chairs, nothing. Then I noticed a few runners sitting on the ground in the parking area enjoying their lunch. Well, if they can do it, so can I. Honestly, sitting outside in the cold winter air with a warm meal in my hands turned out to be surprisingly enjoyable. Sometimes the simplest meal become the most memorable ones. Still, I do wish the convenience store provided at least a small eating area. Not long after, more people ended up eating outside as well. Looks like I wasn't the only one with the same idea. After lunch and while waiting my friends finish their lunch, I just sit in front of the store and enjoy people watching. I don't know when will I be back here again, so I cherish it all in. After my friends had their lunch, we drove to check into our hotels. Well, actually my friends were checking into theirs. They stayed at the beautiful Koakien Uneson Resort. I, on the other hand, would be spending the night in Odawara, about 45 minutes away. The reason? Hakone hotels during the New Year holidays become incredibly expensive. Even smaller hotels cost far more than usual. So, I decided to stay within my travel budget. Sometimes traveling isn't about finding the fanciest hotel, it's about making smart choices so you can continue the journey. As soon as we entered the hotel lobby, I immediately understood why this place was considered luxurious. A huge glass wall overlooked the surrounding hills. Guests could enjoy complimentary drinks while relaxing and taking in the peaceful scenery. It was quiet, elegant, and incredibly relaxing. Even though I wasn't staying here, I could definitely appreciate the atmosphere. Another great feature of this hotel is the complimentary shuttle bus to Gora station. From there, we could ride the mountain railway to Sounzan before taking the ropeway to our final destination for today, Owakudani. By the way, we are using Hakone Free Pass for this trip, so we just need to show the pass to the officer. Inside, there were already long lines waiting for the mountain tram. Fortunately, it wasn't overly crowded inside, so we simply stood and enjoyed the beautiful scenery as the train slowly climbed higher into the mountains. Everything was going smoothly until we reached Sounzan. That's when we saw the sign. Last ropeway departure, 4:15 p.m. I checked the time, only 1 hour and 20 minutes left. Then I looked ahead and my heart sank. The queue stretched all the way down the stairs. It was much longer than I expected. At that moment, I honestly wasn't sure if we'd even make it. But after coming all this way, there was only one option: keep moving forward and hope for the best. It took about 45 minutes just to reach the front of the line. While waiting, I kept doing the math in my head. If we're lucky, we might only get 5 or 10 minutes at Owakudani. Not ideal, but still better than missing it completely. As the ropeway climbed higher, the scenery became more spectacular. Mount Fuji appeared once again in the distance. Then, the landscape slowly changed. Steam began rising from the mountainside. The closer we got, the more dramatic everything looked. It is a sulfur mine after all. When we finally arrived, only 30 minutes remained before the ropeway stopped operating. So we hurried outside. The wind was incredibly strong at the top of the mountain. The air was freezing, and almost immediately you could smell the sulfur. It really does smell like rotten eggs. Despite having so little time, standing there surrounded by steaming volcanic vents felt surreal. Nature has a way of reminding you just how powerful it really is. We quickly took some photos, admired the incredible scenery, and before we knew it, it was already time to head back. We definitely didn't want to get stranded on top of the mountain. As we queued for the return journey, I finally relaxed. The day had been hectic, it was crowded everywhere. There were moments when I genuinely thought we might not complete our itinerary, but somehow everything worked out. Sometimes traveling isn't about having a perfect schedule, it's about adapting, staying patient, and appreciating the experience no matter what happens. And today reminded me exactly why I love traveling in Japan. That's it for today's adventure. In the next episode, I'll show you my journey from Hakone back to Odawara after dropping my friends off at their hotel. If you enjoyed traveling with me today, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments. Have you ever visited Hakone during the New Year holidays? Thank you so much for watching, and as always, may you have joy wherever you are. See you in the next video.